Now, Michigan football last year was coming off a national championship, but lost a ton of players to the pros. Brought in a brand new full-time head coach, ended their season with a bang, beating Ohio State on the road, then beating Alabama in a bowl game. That momentum carried over into spring ball. Well, they'll have coming up this Saturday in Ann Arbor. And with that in mind, it is time for our big interview. It is always a big interview when Sherrone Moore is good enough to join us, the head coach of the Maize and Blue. Sherrone, at this point in the spring, what has you most excited about this team?
Just the team feel. I feel like we got a really close team of young men that are all abiding by our, motto, team over me. Everybody's done everything right. Everybody's attacked the process. So it's been fun, man, having, great coordinators, great coaches, and even better players. They just made it a fun environment. It's great to be out on a football field and not sitting in an office and really going to battle. So it's been an awesome spring so far.
Let me give you a chance to shine a spotlight on one or two people. Give me a couple players who've stood out to you this far.
I mean, the first one I would say is Derek Moore, our edge rusher, number 8. He's been unbelievable. Done a really good job of putting pressure on the quarterbacks and stopping the run. Him and TJ Guy, that edge duo, those guys have been awesome. And they're not far behind with Cam Brandt and Dom Nichols. So I'm really excited about our D-line as a whole. Trey Williams, a transfer from Clemson, has been awesome. Rayshon Benny's been great. And, on the offensive side of the ball, both quarterbacks, man, have been really good. Jaden Davis, Bryce Underwood, Mikey Keene's been working through something, and he's actually throwing here this week, so I feel pretty good about him. So those guys have been taking the bulk of the reps, and they've been great, and feel like we got an improved receiver core. O-line's building and doing a great job. So it's hard to shine it on one guy or two guys when you feel like you got a really good group of players as a team.
Yeah, it's a good position to be in. You brought up the wide receiver room. How deep is the wide receiver position for you guys this year?
It feels like a little, much deeper than years of the past. I feel like we've had really, good 1, 2, or 3 punch, and feels like there's 4 or 5 or 6 guys can go make a play. The impact that, our new transfer from Indiana, Donovan McCulley, has had on a team has been great, has been huge. He's been awesome. Feels like he's really taken the reins and as a leader in that room. But guys like Samaj Morgan, Fred Moore, Channing Goodwin, all those guys have really stepped up. Marion Stewart, and then the young guys like Andrew Marsh and Jamar Browder has really showed. So it's gonna be a great group to watch, an exciting group to watch.
Well, let's talk about Chip Lindsey, the new offensive coordinator. What feels similar or different in how the offense is going to run this season?
Yeah, I can't give you too much, but as far as similar, we're always going to have the style, the mentality to run the football and be physical in the run game and in the passing game, but doing things a little bit different at times. Whether it be formationally, movement-wise, past concepts that we're doing a little bit different. And he's brought a cool little twist to what we've done here before to make it even better. And I always say that growth and comfort don't coexist. So you got to be uncomfortable sometimes, and sometimes things can be, look a little different, to me in my eyes and the way we've done things. So, but I'm excited to see how it looks in the future.
Well, I get a feeling you might not want to answer this, but do you think in terms of passing, the types of passing plays will be different, or the frequency in which Michigan is passing will be different?
I think we'll see. I've done a lot of studies and look at what we've done in the past, and there's this saying that we don't throw the ball, which is completely untrue. It's just, everybody looks at one game and said we didn't throw it. I was like, yeah, I understand. Penn State, we didn't throw the ball very much, but besides that, we were pretty balanced. So I feel like we've had a balanced attack. We're going to try to keep doing that, and just the concepts and the way we attack defenses and the levels we attack them will be a little different.
Samaj Morgan recently called Chip Lindsey, quote, a geek at football. You agree?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He's done an outstanding job, and the players love him. I think it's part of it is his Southern accent they love. They just love messing with him. But he's very knowledgeable in the game, understands it, can dissect it very well, and brings such a different background of football. Being a high school coach and being a spread coach for so long, and being a part of a program at Troy and at Auburn, and that's where he really learned to run the football and do different things. And then going to North Carolina, as an office coordinator at Arizona State, he's been a head coach. So he's got so many experiences that also has helped me as well to grow a little bit more in my role.
It's funny you brought up the accent because that does seem to keep coming up. What is his accent like that it's so interesting to the players?
He's from Alabama. He's got that Southern twang, and but he's awesome. He's infectious to the players. He's infectious to the staff. We love him.
What have you learned in the last few months when it comes to Bryce Underwood? You and I talked on signing day about him, but in the last few months, what have you learned about him?
That he really is addicted to football, that he loves it. He loves the preparation. He loves the grind. To the point sometimes you got to tell him, dude, like, you need to get some sleep. Like, it's not healthy. And but he loves it, man. He just wants to be the best, and he works at it, and he's doing a really good job for us.
How often are you texting Tom Brady?
It's funny. I actually just talked to him on Saturday about some stuff. So I try not to bother him too much. He's got a lot going on. So, but we text every so often.
Who's he text more, you or Bryce Underwood?
I would probably say Bryce, but I'm not sure about that.
When you talk with Tom, is it straight up like Michigan love, or are you guys talking about, White Lotus or something totally unrelated to football?
I mean, if you talk football with Tom, he answers right back. If you talk anything else, that's not really his ball game. Like, you start talking plays that, he ran with the Patriots or with the Bucks, like, he's going to give you a great answer. He's going to talk to you for a while, but if it's anything else, he's probably, figuring out something else to do. So I don't blame him, though. So I'd probably do the same thing.
I mentioned at the top, last year you had a bunch of guys going off to the pros. You're going to have the same situation this year. As we get closer to the NFL draft, what is it like for you? Are people still reaching out from the NFL and asking your thoughts on guys, or is that time already come and gone?
No, I think it goes up to the last hour of the draft and even when they're drafting guys. So it's a continual process for the guys, and I'm just going to do everything I can to help them, to put them in the best position to be successful. But yeah, we're getting calls every day, and we'll keep answering them and doing anything possible for our players to be in a great place.
There's so much talk right now, Sherrone, about the changing landscape of not just college sports in general, but specifically college football as well. There's a lot of talk about what spring football should be going forward. What do you think it will be in a few years?
You know what? It's kind of unpredictable. I'd really like to think it's, still getting practices in, you're still getting work in, but I mean, it feels like it's going to the NFL model of somewhat OTAs, and that at some point in time, whenever that is, that we're all going to go to this non-padded, walk-through / practice phase. But, there's nothing like getting the pads on and playing the game and playing fast and putting the ball down and playing football. Because, you look at every other sport, basketball, volleyball, all these other sports, they play year-round. So football is the only sport, and I know it's physical, but they play year-round, and that's why they get so good at it. That's why the guys in the NBA are so skillful. But so I think from a football standpoint, we either got to get to the NFL model and do it like them, because that's, they've got a pretty good process of how the professionals handle it, or we're going to continue to have practices.
All right. Sherrone Moore, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. Always great catching up with you, man. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Go Blue.